On day 3 of the 2020 League of Legends World Championship, there was a very interesting scenario that happened between JDG Gaming and Rogue from the LEC, and I thought I would come in and cover that. This is Jensen, and this is the Rift Herald defense. So between JDG Gaming and Rogue, JD Gaming, they went for the Renekton, Zoe, Lilia kind of composition, where what they're trying to look for here is once again the LPL full court press kind of style, right? Where they want to be able to push multiple lanes and able the farming jungler to get their lead and then try to snowball victory either through stacking drakes or creating a tempo lead through which they use picks from Zoe's R forward into the Sleepy Trouble bubble, or Renekton flashing and stunning somebody into the burst combination. Now they have the Bard to enable all of this as well, whereas on the side of Rogue, they have a much more comfortable set of options that they have. They went for the Azir into Zoe. Now most feel that Zoe is kind of strong into the matchup, but they do have a decent amount of scaling and the options that they do bring, and Rogue is trying to attack the game by scaling to a certain point and using item breakpoints to win against JD Gaming. But the win conditions and stuff is not going to be the main focus. What we're going to take a look at is what happens between 8 minutes and 13 minutes in this game. At 8 minutes, this is what the snapshot of the game looks like, right? Everything across the board is kind of even. There's a slight lead in the top lane for the Renekton into the Volibear, and you could call it a little bit of a Diffie and the Tiffy in that case. But for the rest of Rogue, things are more or less even at this point of time. And this is what the map state's looking like. JD Gaming, they know that Rift Herald is spawning, and they feel that they should be the team that's playing more proactively, and immediately Bard, without recalling, starts to rotate towards the top side of the map while the Lilia is making a beeline. This is her one item, Ruining Echo Spike as well, as she heads towards that Rift Herald. At this very moment, the bot lane for Rogue, Hansama, on Ashe is recalling. 5 minutes later, close to there, this is the current map state. Notice that the two turrets at the bot lane are down. Mid lane has lost 2 plates, and in all of this time, Rogue has only obtained 3 plates. How did all of this happen? JD Gaming is up 2000 gold at 13 minutes, and Caitlyn is up an entire level. Once again, where did it go wrong for Rogue? To find out, please do hit the like button on this video and subscribe to my channel. If you've done so already, you're awesome. So there are 4 options around the Rift Herald. The first is to start it, that's what JD Gaming goes for, and the second is the contest to play, which is the what we will be analyzing in terms of what Rogue chooses to go for here. And if you are trying to contest to play, you are trying to crush your opponents in a team fight. The third option is what I'm going to be proposing Rogue have done instead, where they give the Rift Herald to the opponents and allow the Rift Herald to take 2 plates. So you only just go down by 300 gold, but you don't lose position on the map. And the last one, of course, is the cross map and race, where you use your existing lead and bot to take the bot turret, where your opponent does the Rift Herald. Now, this is a very interesting scenario because of Rogue and going to contest to play. JD Gaming at the same time, while getting the Rift Herald, they were also able to cross map and race away from the 5 members of Rogue who were combating towards the top side of the map. Ashe, upon seeing that the Lilia has started up the Rift Herald, immediately makes a beeline for it. Now, if Ashe were to go for the stall play, she would actually want to walk towards the bottom lane at this point of time, but she walks directly to the top side of the map to try to cut the members of JD Gaming off. And while JD Gaming secures the Rift Herald, Rogue do get a 2-for-1 using their 5v4. Now, this wasn't the decisive teamfight victory that you're looking for, and in general, if you're looking to contest to play, you are trying to do that with champions like Aatrox, champions like Renekton, or maybe you have a champion that is able to chase people down and get multiple resets, right? Like you have a Tristana in the mid lane who would be decently spiked at this point, and you can go in and get the Super Mario jumps onto the opponent. But worst of all, after all of this, Rogue, they commit their duo to the top lane, which then results in the next scenario. Now, by committing the duo to the top side of the map, JD Gaming, they see this and immediately pull the TP on the bottom side, zoom TPs down and pops the eye of the Herald, immediately taking the bot lane turret. And in all of this time, do note that Rogue are not even hitting the top lane turret at this point of time. So JD Gaming, they take bot lane turret, they take bot lane tier 2, and they are able to rotate over and put some pressure on mid as well. Now I'm not going to cover the fights that happened in between and whatsoever, because that's besides the macro point I'm trying to make over here. So there's two mistakes that Rogue made here. The first is in the assessment of what is the option in terms of responding to the Rift Herald that's being started on the map, and the second is after the open secure Rift Herald, they put themselves in a position where they would now be forced to race against a Rift Herald that's being used. And as a result of all of this, Caitlyn, through all the free waves that she's been picking up, while Ashe has been grouping with the team, she goes up by a level, and JD Gaming, despite giving over 4 kills to the Ashe, is still up 2000 gold at the end of this entire sequence of plays. So how do you execute this stall maneuver, right? And the stall maneuver can be done with basically any team composition, and it is always advisable to go for a stall when you see the number 5 on top of all your turrets, because when you still have 5 plates, it's very difficult for your opponent to make anything happen with the Rift Herald other than take 320 gold from it. So the big picture of executing a stall is that you want to push out your lanes and have manpower in the mid lane to match your opponent's Rift Herald use. So you want to be assigning a 1-3-1 kind of formation with the jungle and support at the mid lane. And now that you're in a 1-3-1 scenario, you can see where your opponent goes after they use the Rift Herald, and then you can match the manpower accordingly to where they go. And if you do this successfully, you will have the lanes pushed out, your opponents will be slower by 30 seconds, and they will not be able to get much value out of the Rift Herald that they committed a lot of resources into. And on top of that, you get one free wave on the bottom side of the map, or for your jungler to pick up an additional camp or so before both teams are kind of grouping to match the subsequent play with the Rift Herald itself. And that wraps it up in terms of assessing what the possible defenses for Rift Herald is between Rogue and JD. Once again, two big mistakes from Rogue. First one, they went for the wrong response. If they have the likes of an Aatrox, they have these big massive team fighting champions, then they have the possibility of absolutely crushing the team fight on the Rift Herald, but they didn't have that. They were kind of going for the scaling composition. They had the likes of an Azir, they had the likes of an Ashe, which can go in the later stages of the game, so they should be opting for the stall in this scenario. And worst of all, they committed multiple members to one side of the map, which allowed for JD Gaming to race them on the cross map. Now, if you enjoyed this type of analytical content, please do like this video and consider subscribing to my channel. Your support means a lot to me. This is Jensen presenting to you this content. The thumbnail that you see as you clicked on this video was produced by John Glacier Slim. Thank you for watching this video, and get hyped for Worlds.